Hey everybody, Gary with Basecamp Trading. Let's take a look at 30-minute chart on the ES futures today. And you can see that non-farm payroll caused this big shove to the upside, and then you left this giant topping tail, and you pulled way back down. Giant topping tail, the entire body of this bar was all selling. This was the opening bar for the US session, and look at the chop in the swings. This bar opened here, pushed down, closed right here. This bar opened up here, so big bullish bar up back to the upside. Then this bar opened here, left the topping tail, bearish bar to the downside. Next bar opens right here, another big bullish bar to the upside. Then we had a chop bar, a bearish bar, bullish bar, followed by yet another bullish bar. And then we went into this consolidation right here. We had two Dojis in a row right here, and we did what we call our bracket the Doji play. On the 30-minute chart, we get two Dojis in a row. One thing that we can do is just bracket them. We'll put a line at the top, line at the bottom, and then just wait for the breakout and trade the breakout. Now, depending on the chart setup, you're not necessarily going to look for a huge run on a breakout, but in some cases you might. This particular breakout to the downside, we were looking for this to push a little lower based on our options chain. Options chain was suggesting that the market was going to close a little bit lower, and it did push down. We were able to get up to $500 per contract on the breakout on the bracket the Dojis. Again, depends on how you traded it, but we were able to get up to $500 per contract, and then we end up leaving this big bottoming tail and setting up the reversal Doji. Big bullish bottoming tail. Chart technically is still bullish at this point. 5 and 13 are crossed to the upside. They're both above the 21 EMA. 50s above the 200. Momentum was a little bit flat, but the fast line at that time was trying to cross back to the upside. We ended up getting some bearish price action, which kept it flat. But at that time, looked like it was trying to cross back to the upside. The chart overall was bullish, so that we took the trigger off of the reversal Doji to the upside, and you had the opportunity to grab as much as $750 per contract off of that particular play. It triggered above 35.01. The high of that bar was 35.15 and 3/4. So again, you had the ability and potential, again, just all on how you happen to trade it. Full disclosure, I actually got out early. I only took I took $250 off of this trade. But again, potential to get as much as $700 off of that particular move to the upside. And then we got this was our closing bar. We got a shooting star right at the end of the day. And again, our options chain was suggesting that this was going to come lower. So we caught a 2-minute shooting star and we're able to trade this down a little lower. And by the option chain, what I'm talking about is our SPX, open interest, and volume. And you can see this 3,500 area, lots of put volume today, lots of open interest and call volume today, right at the 3,500 area. So we were looking for the SPX to close somewhere in this neighborhood, close just a little above that. But when that initial push took place, the SPX was up in here, and then right there at the end, the last 10 minutes of the day, what we call the 10-minute crazies, we got the pullback we were looking for. Again, we were looking for this to close somewhere around 3,500, give or take, and that was close enough. So anyhow, this is when we're talking about our options chain, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at as many options to expire worthless as possible, because our market makers are your primary sellers of options, and so the more options they can get to expire worthless at the end of expiration, the more premium they're able to keep. So our expectation was for the market to close a little bit lower. We got a 2-minute shooting star, and we're able to take a little bit back to the downside. But all in all, a really choppy, swingy day in the ES, but we were able to get a couple Doji trades today.